Here we go. Today, drinking. I'm choosing to drink. I have beetroot, purple carrot, pumpkin juice with a splash of cranberry. That sounds like a nice cocktail. Cheers. The bad news is I didn't go see the band tonight. They're still yet to play, and I'm feeling a bit sick. Really lethargic, no energy. I had a nap at. I thought I'd just have a nap at 5. Now it's 7. I was like, I got to do my video. I don't. I'm either starting to get sick. Not sure. Anyway, won't see the band. I was really feeling like drinking, like 12 o'clock today. I was like, whoa, really want to drink. And I got tomorrow off, so I could have a good drinking session. And I was like, I'm going to the band tonight. But I was going to push through, but in the afternoon, really lethargic, felt sick, had a nap, woke up, didn't feel any better. So I'm going to do the video, go to bed early. I did buy today, what we were talking about yesterday was the fermented prebiotic things. So I bought that. What's it called? Yakult, which is a fermented milk drink. I'm gonna have that every morning. I've had one already to go to bed, but I think it's best on an empty stomach, so the cultures are in your empty stomach. That's what I think. So I'm gonna have it every morning. I bought like a 12-pack. Bought myself 2 6-packs of this. So there we go. So as well as those other supplements I told you about in the previous videos, I also took some vitamin C and echinacea just before this video, just to give my immune system a bit of a kick because I'm not feeling that great. As well as this juice might be good as well. So I won't be seeing the band, and I think I'll be going to bed early. So as you guessed, didn't get to the gym today. Probably a good thing now that I'm feeling like this. So we'll see how I feel in the morning. One thing at a time, focusing on alcohol. Changing the environment that I put myself in. Like I was talking yesterday, I'm a little plant growing. I'm changing this environment. Things will start to grow and sprout naturally with this change. So I'm not going to push myself. And once I'm through with this, we'll see what happens. I might start becoming a regular at the gym. Who would have thought that? We'll see. Cheers. What are you drinking tonight? Write it in the comments down below. I wonder if today's going to mention you might start feeling sick. We'll see. Video 12. Wow, here we go. Don't be afraid of being different. Be afraid of being the same as everyone else. By Anonymous. Don't be afraid of it. I tend to push into my weirdness, and someone said, Paul, you're weird. And I go, and you're normal. I hope you enjoy it. Because I enjoy a bit of spice in my life. So drinking has become so prevalent, so pervasive in our culture that it's difficult to escape its influence. But there's an amazingly vibrant minority of people who are taking a step back and thinking about that status quo. Another band, Status Quo. They've found that they are participating in something that isn't much fun anymore. Are you having fun with your alcohol? course, when we first started drinking, we were having fun. But are we having? Do you have to drink more each time? Do you go? Yeah. Is it fun? They're choosing to pause. Don't worry, the video's still going. That was my acting skills, pausing and reflecting. The result is an entire culture shift around alcohol. I first noticed the shift in some of the super athletes and people who are deeply involved in the fitness and health world. There has been an increase in focus on fitness. A lot more people are running ultra marathons. We had good old Ned just recently ran across Australia. It's crazy. 40Ks a day for 2 weeks, something like that. You Google it. It was probably more than 40, 80Ks a day. I can't remember. They realized that while they were eating all organic food, exercising, and doing yoga, they were also drinking a known toxin in excessive amounts. So yeah, we're doing all this other good stuff, but maybe putting a ceiling on the benefits. People are waking up. Oh, hello. And they're starting to question that behavior. Young people are drinking less. Maybe they're using other substances, because alcohol is quite expensive, really, in Australia. They put those taxes on it. So maybe, it's not as done for young people. I'm an old person. I'm used to, there's my shoelace. I'm an old person. I'm used to using alcohol. The idea that drinking alcohol might not be such a great idea is becoming more prevalent among young people. Young people today are drinking less than their counterparts. Less than their counterparts were 10 years ago, so there's a decline in alcohol. This change is motivated in part by the desire for better health and to buck their parents' drinking trend. They're going against what their parents were doing. Yeah. I've heard people say that alcohol is their parents' drug. And so young people are choosing not to drink. According to a recent poll, 66% of adults under 24 years old in America don't feel that alcohol is important to their life. If you contrast that with older people, the opposite, yes, the opposite is true. Drinking among older generations, especially women, is going up, actually going up. In fact, according to a recent study, there's a whopping 107% increase in alcohol use disorder, AUD, alcohol use disorder, among adults 65 and over. So 65 and over starting to drink more. And an 82% increase in the alcohol use disorder among 45 to 65 years. Oh, I'm in that group, 45 to 65. 82% increase in alcohol usage disorder. So a very intelligent, mindful minority believe that alcohol is less important to their social life than it was to their parents. In fact, the study says that 41% of Gen Y drinkers think alcohol is less important to their own lives than their parents' lives. So they realize it themselves that their parents are needing the mummy juice. I had a mummy juice. I had a mummy juice. My mummy juice was this one. I know a friend who calls her alcoholic drinks, Mum's just going to have a mummy juice. You have your apple juice. I believe social media has contributed to this attitude too. When your entire life is documented on Instagram and Snapchat, you don't want to be caught drunk or passed out. Seeing videos of their friends' behavior can be a deterrent. That's true. When I was young, you out for the night, you didn't have your phone with you. Bring a disposable camera for someone's 21st, but no videos of people falling in bushes like they would do these days. Cutting back is a global phenomenon. Drinking less is not only a local phenomenon, it's global. In UK, a fifth of British adults under 25 don't drink at all. Woo! 25 and under in UK. And that number has been drastically increasing according to UK's Office for National Statistics. According to the National Drug Strategy Household Survey in Australia, whoop whoop, that's me, the percentage of teenagers drinking there was cut in half in 2016. And weekly risky drinking among 18 to 24-year-olds dropped from around 32 to 22% between the 2010 and 2013. So it is in a decline. She's got the statistics to back it up. The declines are happening across the board in both sexes and all sorts of socioeconomic strata and in both urban and rural areas. Similar studies have come out in Canada as well as Sweden. A UK program called Dry July, in which people stop drinking alcohol for a month. Yeah, we do that in Australia as well. There's a dry. I'm doing Dry July, and my birthday's in July, so I'm like, oh, come on, it's my birthday month. So that Dry July has expanded globally over the years. Yes, it's reached Australia, down under the Great Southland. In 2017, 5 million people signed up to Dry July, according to research by the Public Health England. 67% of people will cut back their drinking over the rest of the year after participating in Dry July. So it's actually people do a month without drinking, it actually affects their drinking habits. So it may happen to us. We're experimenting, we'll see. I'm gonna get through this. You're gonna get through this. Keep watching these videos. Don't be hard on yourself. Keep showing up. Learning things. So the more I'm reading this and getting more information, changing the way I perceive alcohol. So we'll see if that works. Other exciting things show evidence of this trend towards less alcohol consumption. The first alcohol-free bars are opening in major cities in London and New York. Alcohol-free bars. Okay. The first non-alcoholic spirit called Seedlip has come out. There is a lot of non-alcoholic drinks popping up in Australia, seen as the alternative to alcohol. And there's an alcohol-free rave movement called Daybreaker. Yeah, I've seen that as well, in which people gather to watch the sunrise, have a massive dance party. Boom, boom, boom. I wonder if people turn up. They've been drinking all night. Turn up to having a whole-day rave. You might be surprised to learn that some of the most successful entrepreneurs, musicians, authors, actors don't drink. Some of them. Like who? Warren Buffett, Tony Robbins, Tobey Maguire, Stephen King, Daniel Radcliffe, Tyra Banks, Natalie Portman, Bradley Cooper, Christina Ricci, Bruce Willis, Eric Clapton doesn't drink. Jim Carrey, I read his book. That was interesting. David Beckham, Jennifer Lopez, Ben Affleck doesn't drink. Eminem, okay. David Murdoch, Tim McGraw, Keith Urban, Gerald Butler, just to name a few. There's also a culture of startup entrepreneurs who are no longer drinking. Entrepreneurship comes with intense amounts of stress as men and women work themselves around the clock to achieve that success. Many extremely successful entrepreneurs have identified alcohol abstinence as their keystone habit. So that from that, they build the rest of their habits. All right, we'll start this habit. We'll take it from there. It's the one thing that allows everything else to fall into place. Okay. Suddenly it's cool to be a non-drinker. Yeah, I've suddenly, am I in the cool club now? Excellent. You're in good company. When you choose to take a break from alcohol, you're actually part of an amazing, vibrant, healthy culture shift. We're part of this, you and me, helping this. Today, keep your eyes open and see if you can catch people not drinking. Catch them. I got you. What are you doing? You're not drinking. Got to catch them all. Notice how many people are choosing iced tea, water, or soda over alcohol, and realize you're not alone. When I do finally go see a band, I'll look out for that. The band I wanted to see tonight, they are touring a bit, so I'll see them some stage. Let's reflect. So Patrick, I'm so incredibly grateful for the alcohol experiment. Okay, can't imagine going back. Looking back at the moments lost and mistakes made is incredibly hard, but hugely rewarding. Even though I consider myself a functioning drinker, yeah, I would be classed as a functioning drinker. People really wouldn't know how much I drink. I don't think I was really fooling anyone. Oh, maybe I'm not fooling anyone. I'm sure I have said and done things that have hurt those around me over the years. It's a hard pill to swallow, but I will use it as building block for my new sober life. Remembering moving forward, I feel as if I've experienced a rebirth of sorts and forgive myself and move forward. Thanks, Patrick. Millie, what's Millie got to say for herself? I've been plagued with depression for years, which only got worse with alcohol when sober, and the false reality that I could only be happy when drinking. Yeah. Like I said, I am starting to feel happier. It's been, and maybe alcohol puts me on this like up and down thing, but alcohol is a depressive, so having a drug that's a depressive in your system would probably lean you towards having a depression. I don't know, maybe. Millie says, I have been asking myself, where have I gone? I felt lost and detached from myself. I've lost my interests, passions, and drive. Drive, beep, beep. I would often reflect back to myself as a child and wonder where I had gone. Where's that little playful, fun child gone? Now that I understand alcohol was contributing to this, I'm experiencing all these emotions again and loving life for the first time in a long time. Millie. So let's push into this alcohol and happiness. Being aware, the ACT thing, remember? First do awareness, creating an awareness, and then we'll clarify it, and then move into takeaway. No, turn around. Turn the beat around. For so many of us, alcohol has been central to so many meaningful and fun events in our lives that we blend the two together without thinking. Yeah, the holidays, birthdays, weddings, celebrations of all kinds require alcohol in some form or another. If someone had a dry wedding, you'd be like, what? It's just expected to have an. I'm going to their wedding. I don't like them, but they've got an open bar. Yay, I'll celebrate. So it's no wonder we feel like alcohol makes us happy. Yeah, we've connected it to these celebrations. New Year's Eve. Whoa! It's interesting that it's like, yeah, New Year's Eve, getting drunk, and you're like, next year my New Year's resolution is not to drink. You're drinking all the way through New Year's. It seems like it's always there and we're having fun. That's when alcohol is where the party is. And that's where we have fun. Who forgot to invite alcohol? Where's the alcohol? Let's name this belief. Alcohol makes me happy. Does alcohol make you happy? That's a belief. So let's clarify, where did this belief come from? We've been conditioned to believe that drinking makes us happy. We see people on TV and movies and all around us smiling and laughing while they're having a drink. Cheers. Don't spill it on me. Having fun. How can we help but smile as the gang shouts, Norm, this is normal. Or Carrie Bradshaw polishes off another Cosmo with her friends. We've also experienced this belief in our own lives. When we drink, we think we feel happier because our filters are removed. We just think we feel happier, maybe. Okay. Isn't it interesting that every time we've been in a fun social setting, there was alcohol involved? It is interesting. These experiences cemented our beliefs, and alcohol became deeply intertwined with those events, and then also intertwined with happiness. We feel free to express ourselves without boundaries. We think we're funnier and the life of the party, at least for a little while. You think you're the life of the party, but really you might be a bit of a nuisance and you don't even know it. Is this true? Does alcohol really make you happy? Let's start by defining what happiness means to you. What does happiness mean to me? Does it mean something fleeting and temporary, like a fun evening out, or is it something more? Take some time to think about this. Is happiness a fleeting event? Write down some situations that describe happiness for you. Then ask yourself, did you always need alcohol to be happy? When you were a kid, did you need a 6-pack before every Little League game? Off to Little League, there's your 6-pack. Or did you and your girlfriends play hopscotch with real scotch? Yeah, Mum, we're just off to play hopscotch. Get out of the liquor cabinet. It's hopscotch, Mum. The average 4-year-old laughs hundreds of times a day and no alcohol is required. Think back and recall the years before you started drinking. Remember those friendships and activities that brought you joy? Yeah, I have had times where I haven't drunk for a couple of years. It would always be what groups of people I'm hanging around with at the time. So, okay, now let's talk about how much time you actually spend drinking. How much time you spend recovering as well. I know for me, I would get off work around 6 p.m. and I'd probably drink until 10 or 11, and then I'd go to bed. I can remember feeling relieved for the first half hour of the evening, happy that my stressful day was over for half an hour. But I don't remember feeling overly happy and joyous for the other 4 hours, I do remember waking up around 3 a.m. every morning and fretting for at least an hour over what I'd done. Ugh, I didn't kiss that ugly person, did I? Worrying about what I might have said or what I might not remember the next day. I remember dreading the morning hangover. Reminds me, this guy is out for a drinking session, so to help with his hangover, he left a glass of water on the kitchen bench with a note saying, well, his name was Pete, let's say, for future Pete. And then when he came home drunk, he saw it and he wrote, he was drunk and was like, fuck you, past Pete. So he didn't drink it. He just said, fuck you, past Pete, I'm not drinking that. Anyway, back to the book. I can say that a few hours of drinking offered enough happiness to overcome the dread and keep me going for the whole next days. The dread. No, I can't. For me, it wasn't worth it. The 1 hour, half an hour to an hour of yay, 3 hours of and then not sleeping well, dread. I won't do that again. The pursuit of happiness is so ingrained into human existence that no matter how happy we are, we're constantly on the hunt for more. Give me more of that happiness. When we see others laughing and enjoying themselves, we naturally want what they have. What have they got? Oh, it must be the beer. I'll have what he's having. If you have a beer in that, she's saying what I just said. If they have a beer in their hand, we want one. If they're drinking champagne toasts at midnight, we want to do it too. Whether it's a party, a sporting event, a concert, did alcohol actually cause the fun at those events? Or were you in a happy environment and alcohol wasn't actually the key component? Happiness is at the very heart of advertising, especially alcohol advertising, but there's no balance in advertising. Alcohol actually causes far more unhappiness than happiness. It slows our minds and chemically depresses us. The ads never show the unhappiness that alcohol causes. You don't see the middle of the night anxiety or tears because we've again broken our promise to ourselves. The feeling bad, like, oh, here I go again. You don't see the drunken fights where people who love each other are now screaming at each other like they're mortal enemies. We're in a relationship. You don't see the morning after neglect that children suffer because their parents have painful hangovers and can't get out of bed. You don't see the emotional, physical, and sexual abuse. You don't see the drunk driver's face after they cause a fatal accident. You don't see the husband taking his own life because he's lost everything. His family, his job, his money, his home, his self-respect. You don't see the arguments and the fist fights. Alcohol causes violent crimes. You don't see the unwanted pregnancies. In short, you don't see the sheer and unrelenting misery that alcohol can cause. Drinking doesn't just make the drinker unhappy, it makes the people around them unhappy too. How many times does a spouse have to put up with their partner coming home drunk, starting a fight before they decide to leave? It's either me or the bottle. How many jobs does a drinker have to go through before they lose their family's home? How long will a girlfriend put up with mediocre sex? frequent hangovers before she decides that she can do better than this guy. The damage alcohol does in our society is so widespread. We all have a story about alcohol, and it has destroyed someone we know. Someone you know? Do you know someone where alcohol has really destroyed their life? The children. Alcohol effects on children is heartbreaking. Their whole world revolves around their parents. Their minds, bodies, and beliefs are tied to their parents' behavior. So I remember it was a quote or something. So what you do in limitation, your child may pick up and do in excess, because you've created. So whatever you do. Someone asked someone on a train, she was reading a book with her child. He goes, "Oh, how do you get your child to read?" She goes, "I read myself." Child thinks, yeah, that's what people do. They model what they see and hear. Do they hear people at the bar laughing at their mum's jokes? No. Or do they hear her sharp tone with them when she gets home? "You should be in bed. I can't even get to bed myself. Where is it?" The alcohol is wearing off and her anger is flaring. "Oh, I had to be home because of you kids." Do you see groups of friends enjoying an evening concert? Or they only see the hangover in the morning? Kids don't see the concert. What about when it gets really bad, leading to emotional or even physical abuse? And children of alcoholics are up to 4 times more likely to develop alcohol addiction later in life. Whoa, yeah, okay. It's a terrible cycle, all based on the false belief that drinking makes us happy. And maybe you think I'm being extreme here, says Annie. Maybe you've never gone to such extremes, and that post-work drink is a harmless habit that seems to make you happy. But here's the question. Does it actually make you happy overall in the bigger picture if you back? It's true, there's a bit of a rush when alcohol first comes into your system. Alcohol is an interesting substance because it's both a stimulant and a depressant. At the same time, our body's getting stimulated and depressed. Alcohol acts as a temporary stimulant just after it enters your system, like your blood alcohol content is rising. It's a stimulant. A rising blood alcohol content affects the parts of the brain responsible for elation and excitement. But after only 20 or 30 minutes, your blood alcohol content starts to fall and the depressive effects take over. And people report feeling uneasy, sad, lonely, restless, and genuinely unhappy when the blood alcohol starts dropping. Wow. Since the rush doesn't last and you end up feeling worse than you did before you first started drinking because of that blood alcohol content falling, you need another hit to keep the blood alcohol content rising. You just got to keep on. Don't want to get into the depression. But that initial nice tipsy feeling never comes back in quite the same way. No matter how many drinks you consume, you're chasing what you felt in the first 30 minutes, and you can't get back there. You drink more and more to get that rush back, but the more alcohol you consume, the duller your senses become. Your perceptions change, and you can no longer assess how drunk you really are. I've already had a couple of drinks. It's possible to keep the blood alcohol content rising for 4 hours or so, but once your blood blood alcohol content crosses a certain threshold, there's 0.05, 0.06, the alcohol becomes a downer, even if that blood alcohol content is still rising. So 0.05, 0.06, even if you do, it becomes a downer anyway. Wow. What's more is the longer you keep drinking, the longer it's going to take for your blood alcohol content to come back down. And that means 10 or more hours of feeling uneasy, anxious, upset, or even into depression. How fun is that? Look at it logically. If a little alcohol makes you happy, shouldn't a lot of alcohol, not a lot, make you even happier? So how come the more you drink, the less you feel that euphoria? The more you drink, the more likely you'll do or say something embarrassing. The more you drink, the more likely you'll feel terrible in the morning. And how can that possibly be defined as happiness? But we all see friends and families giggling, joking, and enjoying themselves while they drink. We're seeing them in the first 30 minutes. Have you ever stopped to consider that maybe they'd be enjoying themselves as much, maybe even more, without the drinks? Maybe it's the occasion and not the alcohol providing the happiness. It's the fact of seeing your friends. It's not the alcohol that comes along with your friends. It's hard to separate the occasion from the drink, though, because drinking is completely intertwined with all of this and those social events that we attend. Yet, when we look back now, it's almost a joke how much happier I am without drinking, says Annie. I can finally truly enjoy social occasions for what they are, a chance to hang out with my friends and have a good time. And Annie mentioned that she was drinking in a 4-year-old's party. She can't remember it. So have a good time and remember that good time. Whether they're drinking or not doesn't affect my own enjoyment. They can be drinking. Only after alcohol has completely left your system can you fully realize that. Yes, you can feel joy. You can feel happiness and incredible energy levels on a consistent basis, rather than the roller coaster of love. So when does the fun begin? Let's consider this from a different angle. Think back to the last good time you had fun drinking. Maybe it was it last night? Do you have a good time last night? Is it now? Are you having a good time now drinking? Watching me, that's a bit weird. Think about when exactly the fun began. At what point did you start to feel good about the experience? Because I usually drank after work, and my fun began the minute I'd walk out of my office. That's when the fun started, not when she drunk. It was like I could finally breathe. All those reports. The work day is done. I could relax. I'd already been feeling good just anticipating spending the next few hours doing something fun. Off I go to have some fun. I'm having fun already going there. I'd reach for my first glass of wine with a smile on my face. And for me, these feelings began 15 to 20 minutes or so before I even took the first sip. The anticipation of having the rest of the evening in front of me made me feel good. I grabbed some alcohol, come back and watch him. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna write the rest of the night off and relax. So he's like, cool. I feel good. Walk into the alcohol shop. Tonight's a write-off. Yay. The same thing happens with the Friday effect. It's Friday night. You've got the whole weekend ahead of you and you're feeling good. Naturally, you celebrate with a few beers down at the pub with your mates. Ordering that first round gets you into the weekend mood, right? But the cheering and excitement and fun happens well before any alcohol has had time to take effect in your body. You don't even have the drink in front of you yet. So ask yourself, when does the fun actually begin? Is it when you're drinking? Or is it the anticipation beforehand? It's the anticipation that kicks things off. Could the fun actually be coming from the connection you have to the people or the places that you frequent when you drink? Also ask yourself, how do I define fun? What's fun for you? What does that mean? Fun. And how does alcohol make things fun? How does it make you happy? How does it make you happy? I don't know. Good question. True connection and pleasure come from consciously experiencing a moment in time. You have to be present and aware of what's happening around you. To register the happiness in your brain, you have to be aware of what's happening around. And if you're dulling your senses, then is that happiness? But alcohol's chemical effect on your brain is the exact opposite of being present and aware. Alcohol numbs your physical and emotional experience. It makes you less and less aware as the night goes on until you can't remember what happened the next morning. Is that happiness? Is the fact that I can't remember happiness? I can't remember how the movie ended, but it was good. You don't know. You can't remember. Does a situation of happiness exist if it no longer exists in your memory? So turn around. The opposite of alcohol makes me happy is alcohol makes me sad. Or try this sentence. Alcohol doesn't make me happy. Alcohol's a depressant. Come up with as many ways as you can that the opposite is true, or maybe truer than what you believed. Our original belief, alcohol makes me happy. Oh, I'm gonna drink a depressant to make me happy. Try the happiness exercise. Happiness and exercise in the same sentence? Ugh. The world's leading happiness researcher, Barbara Fredrickson, says that 10 most positive emotions that combine to create the emotion we call happiness. All right, so the positive emotions that combine to create happiness are joy, gratitude, serenity, interest, hope, pride, amusement, inspiration, awe, love. I love you. I want you to take the time to do this short happiness experiment she's calling it an exercise. I'll say experiment. I don't like exercise. So try this short happiness experiment. It will completely shift your subconscious feelings about alcohol in a truly profound way. Write your on a piece of paper if you like, because writing cements your thoughts to your subconscious. Yeah, if you're thinking something and then you have to, brain has to work out and then take it to the other side, so then it can put it into a linguistic, so then you then have to write it. It cements it in your thinking more. So if you write something or if you say it, it causes your brain to comprehend it better and cement it. So that's the reasoning behind writing your feelings down. It causes you to process them or talk them out. Make a video. Consider each of these emotions one at a time. Take the first one, joy. Write down all the ways alcohol increases your joy in your life. Take as much time as you need. Then write down all the ways alcohol robs you of joy in your life. Which list is longer? Think about your reality now, not what life used to be like when you hope it will be in the future. Right now, what's it like? Not a, I believe that it, no, now. How does alcohol add joy? How does it take that joy away? Then go to gratitude. Ask yourself the same questions. And follow along with those next emotions and continue until you've covered all 10. So those 10 emotions again. Joy, like we're just speaking about. Gratitude. Serenity. Interest. Hope. Are you writing this down? Pride. Amusement. Inspiration. Awe. And love. How does alcohol give and take those within our lives right now? This experiment will give you an incredible perspective on how much joy you're truly receiving from alcohol and how much you're losing. Research has shown that 10% of our overall happiness depends on external things, whether it's a new car or a relationship or alcohol, external things, external things don't make us happy. That's 10% of our happiness is external. 90% depends on our internal environment. How relaxed we are, how confident we feel in the moment, how peaceful. You have the power to make changes that will truly make you happy. Our internal environment. That's true, sustained happiness. That's great news, I guess. We focus on real happiness of our internal, because while we can't always change our outer environment, we can absolutely influence what's going on internally. Woo. This went for longer than I expected again. Thanks for joining me. Drink to that. Internal environment. Focusing on increasing that list. The joy, the love. I've lost the list. Anyway, you wrote it down. And I'll see you again tomorrow morning for the Daily Stoic. Thanks for joining me. Be having some magnesium and ashwagandha off to bed. Hopefully I feel better in the morning. It's like, it could be part of all this detox thing. So now that I've pushed through, I don't want to have it's making me not want to have a drink because I'll have to start this process again. and I'll feel like this. So if I push through, my body's getting its balance back. I wonder if it's normal. I think I might. If you're following this video series, I'm 2 days ahead of you. So be ready. You might start feeling a bit like, ugh. Did I drink last night? It feels like I got a bit of a hangover. But yeah. Anyway, enough rambling, and I'll see you. We're going to talk about our incredible body and our incredible brain tomorrow. She knows me, and she knows about my incredible body. It must be common knowledge. You've got an incredible body too, and an incredible brain. All right. See you tomorrow. Be good to yourself. You're doing good. We're doing good. We're getting there. I didn't drink tonight. I got tomorrow off. Woohoo! I'm pushing through. See ya.